Chicago attorneys reach $5.8 million settlement in lawsuit over claims of racism at water department. Imagine that. To all those people that say racism doesn't exist, here's a prime example of how it exists. I mean, it's in everything too, from the federal government to the local government, cities. I mean, everything. The private sector, it's everywhere. All right, attorneys for the city of Chicago have agreed to a tentative $5.8 million settlement in a lawsuit filed by 12 black employees of the Department of Water Management who claimed they were subjected to a culture of racist discrimination and harassment. The settlement agreement was reached on Monday, less than a month before the case was set to trial in a federal court in Chicago, according to the court records. The city council must approve the proposed settlement before it is finalized. The settlement covers 12 current and former water department employees who claimed in their lawsuit, first filed in 2017, that they were subjected to a hostile and abusive work environment. The lawsuit claims those employees and other black workers at the water department have been humiliated, harassed, denied opportunities for advancement and additional pay, and threatened daily by white supervisors and co-workers. It was plain to anyone who looked at the racism cascaded from the very top of the organization like water travels downhill. The racism lasted for decades and affected countless black employees, which raises the question of why the city's uppermost leaders failed to act. Is that a trick question? Why they failed to act? Like I just said, it's everywhere, from the government, city, local, private sector, religious institutions, from the law enforcement to the judicial system, educational system. It's everywhere. It's a freaking plague. All right, where was I? A city's law department spokeswoman declined to comment on the settlement agreement. It's unclear when the proposed settlement will be presented to the city council for a vote. According to the lawsuit, white managers communicated and knowingly condoned a policy to all of the supervisors within the water department that African Americans, we don't use that term, that black Americans were to be or could with impunity be treated with disdain, deprived of promotions, given less overtime, and harassed. The workers who filed the lawsuit claim experienced black employees were expected to train white colleagues who would then be promoted. In contrast, black American employees would be passed over for better jobs, and the pattern would repeat. You know, we know about this. Everybody that ever worked anywhere knows how this goes. You have these sorry people they hire come in, you train them, and they end up being your boss or promoted over you. That's the way this system is designed, and it's been like that for a very long time. The jobs that I've had in my lifetime, I've seen the very same thing. I mean, you could do the job better than them, and when you leave, they might need 2 or 3 people to replace you. You train these people, and they end up being promoted over you. The lawsuit also claimed top leaders in the department established and promoted a pattern and practice of engaging in racially discriminatory remarks and actions against black American employees, including the use of the N-word and other racist terms, and would discipline black employees who objected to such comments. So you go to HR and you complain about the racism, and they would discipline you for complaining about the racism. That's how that goes. how that's always went. And who will you call? You call the EEOC, and they pretty much do nothing about it. It's the entire system, and it's not no reforming many of these systems. You have to tear these systems down and replace them from top to bottom. While some top supervisors were purportedly fired over their behavior, the lawsuit claims they were allowed to resign or retire with full benefits rather than face any actual punishment. Observing the discriminatory pattern of treatment of Black American employees and hearing the racially derogatory language, other Caucasian employees learned that racially discriminatory behavior would not only be tolerated, but they themselves should engage in such behavior, the lawsuit claims. Black employees who were injured on the job would also not be allowed to return to work on anything less than full duty, while injured white workers were allowed to return to work on light duty, according to the lawsuit. Injured Black workers also would be forced to retire at less than full benefits, and their workers' compensation benefits ended. Barry Murphy, a former Water Department commissioner who was one of those resigned in May 2017 at then Mayor Rahm Emanuel's request after the city's inspector general launched a probe into racist and sexist emails sent within the agency. The Inspector General's final report on this probe in 2018 recommended the city fire 5 employees, including 4 supervisors, for repeatedly using city resources to send or receive racist and offensive emails. Suspend another employee for failing to report having received several racist emails from city employees over a period of years, and formally designate a former supervisor had stepped down amid an inquiry into sending racist emails. According to the probe, emails included racist jokes about former President Barack Obama, the Black Lives Matter movement, and Black NASCAR drivers. One email under the subject line, "Obama angry with Texas," stated, Obama will be making no more public speeches in Texas. He claims every time he gets up on his stage to make a speech, some South Texas cotton farmers start bidding on him. Really? Another email within the subject line, Black NASCAR drivers, listed 10 reasons there are no Black NASCAR drivers, including pistol won't stay under front seat, engine noise drowns out the rap music, and they keep trying to carjack Dale Earnhardt Jr. Another email between 2 city employees stated, I really need to get out in the woods again, if not to just be with the critters, but also to eradicate all the BLM idiots and all the bullshit from the idiots and criminals that back these. Wow. Yeah, that's nothing new, man. It's everywhere. Anything you can imagine that they running, it's just infest this whole entire, not just this country, it's a global system. It's global. You know, a lot of people, they get down and they lay down and they ride with it. In America, we always stood up, and we gonna continue to stand up. And some of us lay down, get down and lay down, but many of us we stand and we fight. And I'm a fighter. I don't fall for that bullshit. All right, here you haters go. Go ahead and get started in the comments, and you know I'll reply. See you on the next one.